right, you guys, you know, when you're talking draft prospects and particularly NFL draft prospects, people only see the small picture. They never really see a lot of the prospects. And that's what I aim to do. I aim to talk about some of these guys that you do not know. I know you guys are familiar with Will Anderson, and I know that you guys are familiar with Jalen Carter. A lot of people want those two guys like Miles Murphy. You may be familiar with also Isaiah Folsky from Notre Dame. You may be familiar with, but I want to put you on a player that you probably never heard of that was balling this season. And definitely, man, I got to put him out there because I know the draft is coming up in April. And I want to talk about this kid because I think that he's a phenomenal athlete. I think he's a freak of nature. And I love his size. I love the passion and the fire that this kid plays with. And that's no other than Tuli Tuipulotu. If you've never heard of Tuli Tuipulotu, I want to talk about him on today. The kid stands at about 6'4", 290 pounds, and he can play the three technique. And he also can get a rush from the outside as well. The USC Trojan used him in various ways, and they used him up coming up the middle as well as being able to play on the outside, which he had a productive year. And pretty much he had 44 tackles on the season to go along with 21 tackles for loss. And he also had 12 and a half sacks as well. So this kid was phenomenal, and he ended up being the Pac-12 Defensive Player of the Year. And when you're looking for a guy, most guys, when they come into the draft, a lot of teams look for versatility. And if you're looking for versatility, I believe that Tui brings that type of package to the NFL. I think that he's going to be a phenomenal prospect, especially if you're looking for a tough guy, a guy that can play up the middle, and a guy that can get a pass rush and get after the quarterback. Those guys are valuable, man. When you find a guy that can create pressure from the inside at the three technique, and you got a guy that can also bounce out to the outside and be able to get a pass rush and get to the quarterback and sack the quarterback as well, man, that stuff is highly valuable. And I definitely think that he's one of those athletes that I want to put the attention on. I know a lot of people talking about Jalen Carter, and everybody wants Jalen Carter, but it's only one Jalen Carter, and he is a beast, and he is a monster. But I just want to let you know that there's other beasts, and there's other monsters in the draft as well. And I think that this kid definitely is one of those type of guys, man. I love just that fire and that high motor that he has. I love that he display a different array of moves at the pass rush. I love his explosive first step and his get off the ball and his quickness. You know, one thing, if you're a defensive lineman, you got to be able to have a good explosive first step and a get off. You have to be able to get off the ball and be able to get after it. And definitely, I think that Tuli is one of those guys that is able to do that. He has those violent hands, and he is a very disruptive football player. Can't create that pressure up the middle, and that's what a lot of teams value in the NFL. If you can get after the quarterback, man, you're going to make a lot of money in the NFL. And he is one of those guys that I really liked coming into this draft. And I know a lot of people have not even talked about this kid, but I just want to let you know that there's other players out there in the draft that you can talk about besides Will Anderson and besides Jalen Carter. I know everybody wants those guys, but everybody is not going to be able to get those guys. Only the teams that are in the high draft pick selections will be able to get those guys unless you come up and you put up a ransom to be able to come up and get Jalen Carter, or you come up and get Will Anderson. That's the only how you're going to be able to do it. But other than that, there's other talent in the draft, and sometimes these guys go overlooked. And that's what I aim to do on this channel, man. I aim to be able to give you guys some of the prospects that people don't talk about. Some of the names that I'm going to give you, you never heard of these guys, or I'm not going to say you never heard of them. You just never brought the spotlight to them. And today I just wanted to bring the spotlight to Tuli Tuipulotu because I think that he's a talented guy. I think that he's a beast. And I definitely think that he's one of those guys, if you're looking for a guy that is very versatile on the defensive line, he's going to bring that punch that you need. He's going to bring it coming up the middle. He's going to bring it from the outside, and he plays with a high motor. And that's what you want. Most teams in the NFL value these type of guys, especially versatility. Versatility is a key in the NFL, and that's going to keep you out there on the football field. And that's what you want to do. You want to be able to get out there in that football field and show what you can do. Now, there's things that he can do to get stronger and to get better. You know, when you get to the NFL, definitely, man, you want to get stronger and you want to be able to have an array of moves, especially from the inside, getting that inside push, whether, you know, you got dips, swim moves, whatever type of move, bull rush. There's a lot of different moves that you can come with to be able to, because you can't come, when you get to the NFL, you can't come with the same move on everybody. Sometimes you can have your patented move like a Dwight Freeney had years ago, where he used to have that spin move and he was able to get to the quarterback. But then there's sometimes where you need to be able to have a different array of different moves that you can get to the quarterback. And I definitely think that this kid possesses all of that, whether it's being able to get a swim move on you, being able to get a bull rush on you, or just being able to knock your hands down and get around you and get to the quarterback. And I think that that is going to be valued. And I think that a lot of teams are going to look at this guy as a guy that you can potentially take in the first round. Now, I don't believe that so far Tuli has declared yet, but I think that he will. I think he, I look at it like this. I don't think he has anything that he needs to prove anymore in college. The dude definitely has brought it this season. And I think that he's ready to be able to take that next step into the NFL and to be one of the top linemen in this draft. So if you don't know who Tuli is, definitely, man, I'm going to put the description of him. I'm going to put the link so you'll be able to see his body of work and see what type of player that he is. I know everybody's eyes are on Myles Murphy and your eyes are on Jalen Carter, but sometimes you just got to wake people up and let them know that there's other talent out there besides just those guys. There's other guys that's going to be in the draft that's going to make a name for themselves. You're looking at a guy that's going to come in and compete. You're looking at a guy that's going to play with that dog mentality. And you're looking at a guy ultimately at the end of the day that can bring that versatility that you need on your defensive line. So if you're any team in the NFL and you're looking for a guy that can bring versatility to your front line, definitely I think that Tuli Tuipulotu is one of those kids that is able to bring that skill set to you. And definitely I think that he can be productive in the NFL. He definitely needs to get stronger. But at the same time, I think that this kid has that beast-like mentality, and he's going to compete at a high level, man. And if you need a guy that can bring it, he can bring it. He plays with the fire and the passion that you would love for your defensive tackle or defensive end to play with, because he can do both of them. And that's going to bring a lot of value to him. So I think it's going to bring a lot of attention his way as well, especially when you are one of the top defensive linemen in the country. A lot of guys are going to look at what you bring to the table and what you think about what he's been able to do. He's been very productive, man. You know, I know a lot of people like to talk about the SEC players and stuff like that, but you know, you got to think about college football in a whole. You can't just think about guys, because I know that, you know, everybody feels like the SEC is just like, you know, that's where you get all your players from. No, that's not true. There's other guys that go to other schools that can go out there and they can ball and they can play as well. And I definitely think that Tuli is one of those guys that that matches that and fits that. He has that demeanor that he is going to be a guy that's going to compete. He's going to be a guy that takes no plays off, takes no days off, and he ain't going to take no mess. So I love everything about this guy. I love his game. And if you are an NFL ball club and you're looking for a guy that can be versatile, a guy that's going to take no days off, a guy that's going to play with that fire and that passion on the defensive line, then definitely you want to take a look at Tuli Tuipulotu. I think that this kid is box office. And I think that alongside of guys like Carter, Will Anderson, and Myles Murphy, that this guy is one of those guys you want to take a look at. Defensive Player of the Year in the Pac-12. And I just wanted to put you up on who he is. All right, you guys, I'll be back to you soon with more draft prospects. I'm out of here. Peace.